to listen carefully to those first reading into the gospel and to see if there was some similarity, something that God is presenting to us that is part of our everyday life. Did anybody identify some particular theme, a word you might identify, an idea that might be something that you do in your own life that was present in these readings? Patience. Okay. Hopefully we all have that as well. And I can see that, but there's even something more basic in our readings today. Say that again? Choosing God first. Yes, that's important. And that would be found in every message that God says, but there's something even more particular in these readings. Excuse me? Hospitality. Very good. So there's hospitality shared between the gentlemen that are coming in front of Abraham's tent, and we find with Mary. There's also patience. There's also listening to God, and all those are important. But today, as we listen to our readings, hospitality is one of those themes that is carried in our first reading as well as in our gospel. How to be hospitable, how to share with others the goodness God gives to us. And today, as we listen to our first reading, Abraham shares that hospitality, and he invites Sarah, his wife, to give to those that are traveling comfort, to give them water and refreshment. And I'm sure all of you do the same, right? A family, a friend comes to your home, they knock on the door, you open it up, you see them. What is the first thing you do? You welcome them, right? And then after you welcome them, do you just have them stand there at the door? Good to see you. See you later. You invite them in. Then what do? What? You feed them. You ask them if they want some water. Maybe if they travel a long way, they might need the restroom, right? You share that with them, right? That's what we find in our gospel today. We offer that hospitality. And that's what Martha's doing in our gospel today. Martha is being hospitable. Jesus has come from a great distance. By the way, Martha and Mary are friends with Jesus. And you might have heard of their brother, Lazarus, the raising of Lazarus. They're friends. Jesus often came to their home, and today is no different. And what does Martha do? What we all would do is offer hospitality to our visitors. And you can imagine the panic that Martha might have been experiencing. Here we have Jesus, and don't forget, he brought 12 of his closest friends with him. Think of that for a moment. You're thinking right now, well, gosh, Father Mike should hurry because I have people showing up at the house at 11 o'clock. And they're bringing their friends with them. Would that set a bit of a panic into your life? Thinking, I haven't prepared anything until after this Mass is over. And Martha is a bit anxious because now she has to feed all these people that have shown up. She's doing the right thing. She recognizes that she needs to offer comfort to those that are there, and she wants her sister to help her. It's all natural, right? But she's forgetting one thing. And Jesus says to her, but Mary has chosen the better part, to ponder God's word. It's not that Martha was doing something inappropriate, but she forgot the other part of that action, to recognize the presence of God in our life. Abraham recognized God, and through that recognition is blessed with a child. And Martha recognizes Jesus. She knows who he is. In that other gospel passage, she recognized that he is the resurrection, that life will come through him. but she's caught in the practicalities of life. Here's the need. I got to take care of this. But he says, wait a minute. Listen to what I'm saying. Ponder the words that I'm sharing with you. When I was in high school work, I would often tell the students, what's the difference? I'd ask them, what's the difference between what you do here in Christian service and what your friends do in public school in community service? And they say, well, it's all the same. I said, it's not. And they'd say, well, we all do the same kind of work. We go to the park, we pick up whatever it is. But I said, you do it because you recognize that Jesus is in every action. Why do we help out others? Because we realize that's what Jesus does. Why do we care and support others in their need? Because that's what Jesus does for us. And so Jesus is saying to Mary, to Martha, do what Mary does. Combine the both. Our action should be led from our contemplation, our reflection about who God is in our life. There are two actions that are connected to each other, not separate and distinct. And Jesus is bringing both of those together. And that's the similarity in our gospel of last week, the Good Samaritan. He realized that the gentleman that helped realized that he had other things to do. But he realized that Jesus was in that other person. The presence of God was in that individual hurt on the side of the road. He combined his action with his faith. And that's what we do in our lives. Today, our scriptures remind us that hospitality is important. It's essential. But it's done because we recognize that Jesus is in everything that we do, in every action of our life. That's what makes us Catholic Christians. That we give because God has given to us. And we continue to share that. That's what Jesus is saying to Martha today. That's what he says to each one of us. Don't be so busy about the work if you forget why you're doing the work. And we do the work because the Lord invites us into relationship with him and with others. We contemplate him in our life, and we do our work because of our union with him.